As Jack quietly walks closer to the blind girl, she suddenly says, "You've come." Jack asks in surprise, "How did you know?" The girl smiles and replies, "I can hear your footsteps and I can feel the movement of the air." Jack then asks softly, "Do you have a boyfriend?" The girl lowers her head sadly and says, "No. Last year I became seriously ill. I lost my eyesight and he left me." Jack politely asks, "Can your eyes be treated?" The girl answers, "Yes, they can, but the doctor said the treatment will cost 1 million yuan. I believe that even though the treatment is expensive, I will earn this money through my own hard work." Jack hands her some flowers and says, "These are for you." The girl smiles, accepts the flowers, and Jack quietly leaves. Sometime later, Michael storms into Jack's office angrily, throws a file onto the table and says, "What is going on? Why did you sell all your shares? Do you know their value would exceed 1 million yuan in just a few years?" Jack calmly replies, "I know, but I want to help that blind girl get treatment. The doctor said if she misses this chance, there may never be another one. If my company is gone, I can build it again, but if she loses this opportunity, what then?" Hearing this, Michael softens and says, "Brother, this sacrifice is truly meaningful." Later, a buyer looks at Jack's car and says, "I'll offer you 150,000 yuan for it." Jack says in shock, "What? Only 150,000? Can you increase the price?" The buyer replies, "That's the price, otherwise I'm leaving." Jack stops him and says, "All right, 150,000 it is." The buyer says, "Come with me, I'll get the money for you." Afterward, Jack sits beside the blind girl again. She senses him and asks, "Jack, is that you?" Jack smiles and says, "Yes, it's me." She asks, "Why haven't you come for so many days?" Jack hands her flowers and says, "Here you go." The girl smiles and thanks him. Then Jack takes out a card from his pocket, places it in her hand and says, "There are 1 million yuan on this card. Take it, get your eyes treated and live a good life." After saying this, Jack stands up and leaves. The girl keeps calling out to him, but he doesn't turn back. A few days later, Jack is collecting cardboard boxes. Michael comes over and says, "I told you to come work at my company, but you're doing this instead." Jack replies, "Let me just finish this and I'll come." Michael then says, "I saw that blind girl. Her eyes have been treated. She has opened a flower shop now. I heard she's been looking for you." He hands Jack the address of the shop. Jack takes it and runs there immediately. The girl is cleaning her flowers when Jack arrives and quietly looks at her. Thinking he's a customer, she says, "Sir, would you like to buy some flowers?" Holding back his emotions, Jack replies, "Artistic roses." The girl freezes in shock, steps forward and says, "Jack, is that you?" Jack tries to deny it and turns away, but the girl stops him and cries, "Even though I have never seen you face to face, your voice and that feeling, I will never forget them for the rest of my life." She hands him the flowers and says, "These are for you." So friends, you saw how Jack helped a blind girl. He sold everything, his company, even his car, and went from being a boss to an ordinary worker. Without caring about money or personal loss, he chose to help someone in need. Do you think his decision was right? If you were in his place, what would you have done? And how did you like today's story? What score would you give it out of 10?